Before I begin sharing with you my research, I want to do a land acknowledgement. I recognize that the land I live on and work on is stolen land, that the Mendocino County is the ancestral land of many native groups. I strive to honor this land through my work at the library and my stewardship of the land I live on. I had the pleasure of researching and talking to two Northern California tribes, one located in the area I live, the Pomo, and the other about 5 hours north of where I live, the Karuk. The following slides will highlight some of my research. The Sherwood Valley Band of Pomo Indians Rancheria was established in 1909. It is a federally recognized sovereign tribe. Located in Willits, California, their land is 356 acres. The Sherwood Band of Pomo Indians are governed by a tribal council. The tribal council serves as representatives to tribal members. There are 7 members on the tribal council, including a tribal chairman, vice chairman, treasurer, secretary, and a parliamentarian. California passed Proposition 8 in 1998, which made it possible for tribal governments to have casinos. The Sherwood Valley Band of Pomo have a casino on their land, and they receive the profits. The Redwood Valley Little River Band of Pomos are federally recognized rancheria. Their land is 159 acres. It was established in 1908, but in 1958 it was terminated by the United States Congress with the passing of the California Rancheria Termination Act, but its status was restored in 1983. The Redwood Valley Little River Band of Pomo Indians are governed by a tribal council. Their council consists of a chairperson, vice chair, secretary, and treasurer, plus 3 other members. I had the pleasure of meeting a tribal elder from the Redwood Valley Rancheria while on a library outreach program. He was appreciative of the library's presence and open to telling me about their community. He told me how different the land looked now. He talked about all the redwoods that were removed from the Redwood Valley by the logging industry. Having all these majestic trees removed changed the climate of Redwood Valley. Heavy populations changed the landscapes as well. Many of the streams and rivers have disappeared. He showed me a garden that they had planted on the reservation. The plants in this garden weren't vegetables or flowers as you might expect, but instead they had planted the fibers that they needed for their basket making. He said you used to go and walk along the creeks and find everything you needed, but now the yards are fenced in and the creeks are disappearing or diverted, making finding the proper plants in the wild nearly impossible. I went away with a greater understanding of the Redwood Valley tribe. I was impressed with their commitment to their culture and their families. Pomo baskets are prized cultural heritage. The Sherwood Valley Band and the Redwood Rancheria both feature and honor baskets on their websites. Both of these tribes also offer classes in basket making to younger tribal members. In the book Pomo Cradle Baskets, an introduction, the author, Corinne Pierce, demonstrates how to make and use a cradle basket. Pierce is a Pomo basket weaver, herbalist, dancer, and cultural advocate. She is a member of the Redwood Valley Pomo tribe. She states, "I weave to express my deep love and appreciation for the natural beauty around me and to deepen my connection with the land that I live on." And the Corinne is the woman pictured on the right. The cultural center of the Karuk people is located within their traditional territory in Northern California, in Siskiyou County. It's very near the Oregon border. The region is notably remote, situated approximately 90 minutes from Wairika and 3 hours from Eureka. The Klamath River, a significant geographical and cultural feature, flows through the town of Happy Camp. The journey along Highway 98 towards Happy Camp offers a striking natural scenery. During early spring, the Klamath River appears especially dynamic with strong, fast-moving current. The surrounding landscape is characterized by dense strands of Douglas fir and oak trees, reflecting the area's rich ecological resources. The Karuk people live off the abundance of natural resources like elk, deer, acorn, and salmon. The Karuk People Center Museum, established in 2002, is located in Happy Camp. It occupies a striking building that is on the land that once served as an elementary school and now houses the tribal administrative offices, medical clinic, and dental office. The former school cafeteria has been repurposed into a community center. The museum is primarily funded through grants and revenues generated by the gift shop. Notably, the most popular item sold at the gift shop appears to be cigarettes and other tobacco products. During my visit, there was a steady stream of individuals purchasing tobacco items from the shop. The Karuk People Center is a 5,000 square foot facility featuring natural wood siding and an architecturally striking design. The well-lit interior includes clear story windows, skylights, and exposed beam ceilings, creating an open and welcoming atmosphere. The building houses the museum exhibits, basket weaving classroom, and the Karuk language program, and a gift shop. Exhibits are displayed in a spacious open area with glass enclosed display cases. The Karuk People Center Museum serves as a significant cultural asset to the community. Its strategic location, at the heart of ancestral lands near the Klamath River and in close proximity to the tribal administration offices, position it as a focal point of the Karuk culture. The museum showcases a living culture, emphasizing that the Karuk tradition is not only preserved but actively thriving and evolving. In addition to exhibits, the center displays a vital role in sustaining cultural practices. Overall, the museum is a vibrant celebration of Karuk culture. The center actively supports the continuation of basket making tradition through basket weaving classes led by Master Basket Weaver Verna Reese. Reese instructs students in the entire process, beginning with the gathering of traditional materials and continuing through the completion of the basket. They also sponsor an annual Basket Weavers Convention that attracts basket weavers from other areas as well. Language classes are also offered at the Karuk People Center. They also have an online Karuk dictionary that you're seeing on the image, managed by UC Berkeley, which states that spoken language and text are the intellectual and cultural property of the creators or heirs. The museum also houses a community library which features an extensive collection of books celebrating both Native American cultures broadly and the Karuk heritage specifically. The museum curator at the People's Center is also a mobile librarian that takes books to some of the surrounding areas that are remote. The Karuk People Center is actively working to preserve their culture and traditional knowledge. They collect, house, and display important parts of their culture as a way of teaching culture to the Karuk people and also share it with others. They're also working with Sipnook Digital Library, Archives, and Museum, looking to digitize and share history, language, tradition, natural resource management, and living culture. Spiknuk is the Karuk word for storage basket. And so basically this is a storage of their culture. They have collected art, community collections, basket weavers, repatriation of Karuk culture holdings, language, and more. The Karuk People Center is active in these collections and has a display of the community collections and encourages community members to help identify photos and to provide photographs to the Spiknuk Digital Library. The digital collection is a vehicle for preserving their cultural heritage. Both the Karuk and the Pomo are skilled basket weavers. The Pomos, I'm sorry about that. Pomo baskets are prized cultural heritage. Pomo baskets have many uses. Some are woven to be watertight. Others have open weaves that are used as sifter baskets. Beads and feathers are often used to decorate the baskets. The twine is usually white with black pigments. The baskets are made from various plants: dogbane, redbud, green willow, and the root of sedge. The Sherwood Valley Band of the Redwood Rancheria both feature and honor baskets of their websites. On their websites. Both of these tribes offer classes in basket making to the younger tribal members. Basket weaving also holds a significant cultural and practical importance within the Karuk tradition. The People's Center houses an extensive and beautifully curated collection of baskets reflecting the diversity and functionality of the Karuk weaving practices. I have a few slides here to show you some of their baskets. These are Karuk tobacco storage baskets. This is a Karuk burden basket. And here's a burden basket by the Pomo, this one in the back. They would have these strapped either over their shoulder or hanging on their back as they would go out collecting and foraging. This is a Karuk trinket basket. These are Pomo baby baskets. And this is an example of a Karuk baby basket. The Karuk also make basket caps, and the center displays these finely woven caps, which are traditionally worn by women during the ceremonial dances. Elaine Garcia, the museum's curator, explained the cultural significance that the baskets are believed to still possess spirit. So they are still actively used in dances and ceremonies because, as she said, they need to breathe and dance. The Willits Library, where I work, has partnered with the Sherwood Band of Pomo. Partnerships are an important part of community work, and they take time and effort to form. During Native American Heritage Month, the library partnered with the Sherwood Band of Pomo. They provided items to be placed on display that celebrated the Pomo culture. They provided baskets and ceramics made by children of the Sherwood Valley Band of Pomo, and they loaned us a cradle basket to display. We also hung up a large quilt called Pomo Dancers, made by a tribal member named Buffy Schmidt. The community really enjoyed seeing these Pomo pieces in the library. During a class visit, a little girl came up to me and pointed to the quilt. She said, "My grandma has one like that." And I asked her, "Is your grandmother named Buffy Schmidt?" She smiled and was delighted to see that it was her grandmother's own art hanging on our wall. I asked if she wanted me to show the whole class, and she again beamed and said yes. As the students were lined up ready to leave, I asked everyone to turn and look up at the quilt and told them that their classmate's grandmother had made that quilt and loaned it to us to display during Native American Heritage Month. It seemed to me that that little girl stood a little taller as she left the library, knowing that her culture was being celebrated in public. We have since then purchased books by Buffy Schmidt regarding Pomo language, native plants, and basket making. I'm sharing here some of the sources that I've used for the research into the Pomo and the Karuk people. This is the Buffy Schmidt one.